separate from household trash from April 1st until November 30th each year. It's the law. Yard waste belongs in a paper lawn bag, or you may request a bin from your trash hauler who will pick it up for a small fee. Remember, no trash or branches are allowed in yard waste. Get the details at lincoln.ne.gov/recycle.
Hey guys, it's your girl Jordan from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Gentlemen, it's time to elevate your style with something from our men's jewelry and watch collection. Why not treat yourself to the ultimate in luxury? We've got an incredible selection of pre-owned Rolex watches, even those hard-to-find models you've been dreaming of. Whether you're stepping up your game day look or adding a touch of class to everyday wear, our top-tier collection is sure to impress. Stop by Sartor Heyman and discover the perfect piece to reflect your unique style. Until next time, happy shopping, guys.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Hey everyone, Lance here with Black Label. We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of combined experience, we're not just builders, we're creators of unforgettable memories.
Call them today at 402-730-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
Black Label Built, built to serve, built to last.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
It's the greatest time of the year again. Kickoff is here and football is officially back. Over 1 million fans across 33 states got in the game last year by making picks on Underdog, and this year you can too. Making picks on Underdog is straightforward and signing up is even easier. Just head over to Underdog's simple-to-use mobile app or UnderdogFantasy.com and sign up with promo code EARLY, and Underdog will give you a free pick to use on your first cash pick'em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code EARLY to claim your new customer special of a free pick and your deposit offer. Must be 19 plus in Nebraska and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown! 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker and one more.
DeMornay Pierson-El.
Not only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
All right, welcome in to Don't Punt Hour. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. We got the host, as always, DeMornay Pierson-El on the Allo VIP line, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with a local heart. 402-464-5685. If you guys want to join in on tonight's shows, that is the Sartor Heyman text line. Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo, channel 961. You can also put a face to the voice on any of those streaming platforms. And, of course, ticketfm.com to catch the podcast later. Let's bring in the host, DeMornay Pierson-El. How's it going on a chilly Wednesday night?
It's going good, bundling up, not trying to, be too cold.
Yeah, it's officially, once you get to that first real good chill, it feels like winter is officially here. I'll be honest though, I was kind of getting ready for it. It's been a pleasantly nice October. Pushed it off long enough, got some light rain, but it feels like winter is right around the corner. But we're not going to talk about the weather. I want to talk a little bit more Husker football, and then I want to dive into the basketball, in particular with the NBA, and then of course Husker basketball, as they are currently sitting 1-0 on a game that was a little close heading into halftime. But I want to talk a little more about Dana Holgorsen, because listening to one-on-one with DP and Barry Thompson, Fairfax Academy QB coach, what does this do mentally? Because that's the one thing we didn't touch on yesterday with Dana Holgorsen. What does this do for mentally for the players on that offense to have a guy this late in the season, and we don't know exactly what his role is, how much reach he has, if he's there just to talk to the quarterback play, if it's on the wide receivers, if it's looking at the entire thing, or if it's, challenging Satterfield on some of his play calling. But what does that do for the offense mentally to know that because of the results, there's someone from the outside coming in to take a look?
Honestly, it can be exciting looking at it in a positive perspective. Just because, doing the same old thing over and over and over again, having a new set of eyes to, maybe it might just be operational or preparation or just little things in practice to kind of tune things up or, rev up the intensity. It could be something to where, the players had been needing, not to say that it wasn't there or anything like that. But it's just, a different set of eyes in there to okay, I understand. I see your plan and everything like that. Maybe tweaking it like this instead of these screen passes. Fake the screen and go downfield, or set those up. Even more so. For Satterfield, I know Satterfield probably feels bad about it because he's catching heat from that, and then it's half and half with his fault and the other people, the offensive as a whole of not being consistent. So for him, he's probably, a little bit more frustrated or whatnot, but for the whole offense, depending on exactly what his role is, meaning he's not, overly controlled or anything like that, but, he could be pointing things out. Okay, no, at practice, we need to speed this tempo, or we need to tune this up. It just, it doesn't look right. It's kind of, trimming the fat around to kind of get things firing on all cylinders. So I think it could be very exciting for dudes because you have another person who I think like his ranking, his national rankings have always been at least in the top 20 on the offensive side. Mm-hmm. He airs the ball out, but also it's consistent, with running or whatnot. So his offense is typically, get generated. And his offense is not going to be thrown in there. That's not what it's going to be. It's more so going to be probably more so of operation of adding on to or variations of different things to get the job done.
Yeah, and if you look at his pass, like it's an air raid, but it's a lot of running to set it up. So he likes to take shots downfield, but it's not just we're gonna go out there and pass it. They're kind of set up shots, but they take those shots pretty frequently. I don't know if you want to compare it to like a NBA kind of middle tier on how many threes they take. Like, yeah, they're gonna go ahead and take them, but it's not their entire game plan. It's not like you're playing. He doesn't have like a Warriors mindset. If that makes sense for anybody worried about this team suddenly going to an air raid. And I don't think it's one of those things where Satterfield is just completely going to be off play calling. If that was the move, he just would have fired him already. Otherwise, I don't know why he'd be there on staff if we're going to remove all of his powers on that. Any worry about Dylan Raiola's mindset? Again, we don't really know what he's all going to be in charge of. Offensive consultant is the label. Hearing that it's an evolving role as well, though, is kind of interesting to hear because, again, it just says, I don't know if they really know how much they want to kind of get him involved depending on what they hear. What do you think this does for the mindset of Dylan Raiola? Can it hurt anymore is kind of where I'm at because this offense has been bad 11 weeks in, still bad, hasn't really improved at all. Like, does this any way this makes things worse?
No, I don't think so. Again, you're bringing in a guy who's done coaching and been on the offensive side for the long haul. So, for him, it maybe even get him more in a rhythm or more reps to understand what they're trying to do. And he's not going to be out there calling plays. It's going to be, as we've, heard and witnessed Satterfield said, sometimes he's not confident in what he calls, or he doesn't know, which way he wants to go. This guy can, kind of keep him on track instead of him, maybe coming up with things like, hey, in these type of situations, go to these type of plays. You got you got a play call sheet of these type of plays. So these are more your consistent to be on track, to keep on track versus, throwing stuff at the wall. With Raiola, it can put him, he has a lot to gain.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen him. He's had, a remarkable first year as a starting quarterback. He's handled a lot of stuff. He's had to deal with a lot of stuff, with a lot of inconsistent, from on the offensive side. That's not all the way on him. It's not all the way on the coaches. I mean, just collectively. So it could give him, like jumper cables. It can give you the spark. It can give you, a jump to get you over the hump, because they're right there. We've seen it. The guys are talented or whatnot. It's just not consistent. So it's more so. Footprints in the snow, and you kind of like see it instead of, going off into the wild and you don't necessarily know where to go. The guy, I think, is going to bring, a consistent, is like, no, stay on this track, more so do a little bit more so in these situations. Because he's going to watch cut-ups. They're all going to watch cut-ups. Instead of doing this, on your third and mediums, on your red zones and everything like that, mix in a little bit of this. So you giving him, a canvas, a bigger canvas to expand to where, he's just not in one little box and it's the same one or two things and they don't work. Or, teams are waiting on that and it's not, successful. So I think it'll be good for Dylan. Like I said, it'll give him somebody else other than just the same old record playing over and over and over again. It's a different set of eyes to get in there and to kind of, take coaching, because I mean he does that. He does that good. He's not afraid to be coached hard or anything like that. So I think it'll be good for the whole offensive side as a whole.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep falling back on. There's no way you make things worse. I mean, this team got 14 on Rutgers just barely. That Purdue game, without yet take away the pick six. That's kind of really another low scoring win for them. Illinois, you had some good offense, but that was one where the defense, unfortunately, had a bad day. Like, this team, with these defenses coming up, USC being probably the weakest, but even they got some guys that can play solid defense. Wisconsin and an Iowa team. Like, we're going to need to figure out some way to move the ball consistently enough. Otherwise, the chance of going 0-3 is a real possibility. So I think it's worth the shot. Like, I bring them in there, but there's got to be some conversation with the players, you would hope, beforehand, like, to let them know what's going on with this whole offense situation, because the worst thing that could happen is it puts the entire offense in a bit of a side spin where they either put too much blame on themselves or, they think they're wrong and that Satterfield's plan was right. When you look at this team, is this a players' energy not being where it needs to be? Is this coaches not putting the players in the best positions? Because you could make the argument. There's times where we're asking our players to work in areas that would be considered their weakness. Like, where do you kind of assign blame in this whole thing? And obviously it's not on one guy in particular, but as a player, how do you recognize if this is a player's problem where they're not given the energy, or is this is coaching where we just can't get these guys in the right situations?
I think it's a little bit of both. You can be harsh on play calling and everything like that, which certain times I agree, and how they've kind of handled the offense with multiple backs and everything like that. Even the head coach has said, he wanted a particular way and it's still not that way. So it's crazy that it's kind of still going on like that. But it's the coach's job to put the kids in the best situation and prepare them. Once prepared and everything like that, they know you can execute. You've been, this is later in the season. You understand installs. You understand how to break down film. You understand how to attack your opponent. You understand, what the expectation is to be successful. It's on the players for, not having, I don't want to say the right mindset, but not having it on their mind enough to get the job done. Not bringing the energy that is required on a daily basis, a weekly basis, a yearly basis to get things out. It's not all the hype videos and all the extra stuff and everything like that. That's the bonus. You're doing the workouts that you were doing, in the winter, pushing the sleds, on the field and everything like that. That way, your body is prepared and trained for this. So is it a mental lapse? Is it, not mentally, focused enough? You don't care enough because, you keep doing the same type of things or missing the same type of assignments because for somewhat reason, the coaches are calling it because they know they can execute it or they've seen them execute it. It's just when it's actually, live and in the real game, it's not executed consistently. The game changes, it's full of momentum swings and everything like that. But that goes back to the players being prepared, to the players doing the best of their ability to make sure, it's not them that's messing up. And so it's on both. I don't think it's just one, it's your fault, it's this and this and this and that, because at the end of the day, I mean, these kids are in college. They moved out of their parents' house. You're attending a well-put university. You get catered to. You don't, have too many problems. And on top of things, like, you're getting paid. And you still, mess up assignments. And I understand mistakes can happen and everything like that, but it shouldn't be like this the whole entire time. I remember Coach Rule saying early in the season, when the lights came on and they had the scrimmage and everything like that, he canceled it because people stopped doing, their job assignments and everything like that. And what do you know, 9-10 games in, and that's still a thing. And it has to get better. I don't know if you necessarily bench guys and just put somebody in there or other situations. But like I said, it has to be more so on the guys being prepared and living in the moment and not just, going out there half putting energy in it and everything like that and just okay with, not putting the best film out there. And I think that's a bit bigger piece of it because coaches have seen you execute it. They know, you go all week in camp and, you go all week, doing the assignments and everything like that. And they give you all the looks. You prepare, for everything. And yet you go out there and not execute. So that's where I think things have to change a bit. With hopefully, new eyes in there, just a different way of doing things, more so than just the same old what you've been hearing, beating the same drum, playing the same song all year type of thing.
Yeah, and I'll sign up with you on, like, this is a widespread issue. I mean, this is a we thing, and this is where I kind of subscribe to what Jay Foreman's whole message is this entire bye week heading into this road game versus USC. Is like, this is a we problem, from the defense to the offense to special teams to the coaches to Dana, who just walked in the door. Like, this is we. Even though you just got here, here's all the baggage we've been carrying around. It's now yours to carry as well, because they got to sort this thing out. I do think it's just the magic of getting this damn 6th win off the player's mind. Like, I don't know what that is, but it has clearly been like a thing that has at least resonated in their heads a little bit, because you can see it on their faces. You can hear it before the season starts, just how vital it is to just have something tangible. And I'll always go back to this. And I go back to it every time we end another season. We don't go bowling. The fans get pissed off and they don't have any belief anymore because there's never been anything tangible to point to. You go from maybe 3 to 5, sure, but nobody really cares until you at least go 6 and you can point to a bowl game. Tangible evidence that this team is finally heading in the right direction since going to a bowl game since in 2016. And if they win it, be the first time since winning a bowl game in 2015, which ironically was UCLA the last time Nebraska won a bowl game. Would have been great to beat UCLA to start that bowl game run again. But I think that's where fans are just dying for just real evidence to be like, you know what? You guys gave me a lot of coach speak all year, but you kept my faith in it enough. And guess what? We actually went bowling. Does apathy ever set in with this fan base, though?
That's tough because I mean we're a passionate fan base, so it's I don't think so.
What if 10 more years of this?
Then I think the fans are still going to be the fans. They still going to be mad, but they still care. They're still going to watch. People will still turn up. I don't think it'll be completely like, abandoned ship or anything like that. I still think it will be what it is now. Once things get really rolling and everything like that, I think things will take to another level. But I mean, it just people is just tired of being in the Matrix kind of type of thing with it, honestly.
I'll ask the text line this because after the fact, and I get it, after the fact, immediately as soon as the clock hits 0, the emotions are high. But I saw a lot of people saying they're boycotting the rest of the home games to prove a lesson that the fan base deserves better. 402-464-5685. I'm not calling out for anybody to do that because it is tough, and I think these kids are trying.
They're going. They can say that. You say.
Well, I'm
like
saying, text me if you still plan on doing that. Now that we're past
that's
the
like
game.
having a fight and you saying something and you don't really mean it. Like you're just mad. I get it. I understand that they'll be there. Like I don't think there's any chance, not of that or anything like that. Let's say we bring back this win from SC and Wisconsin comes in here. They would like to see that 7th win and to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's the temptation and it's the stirring the pot of that. So I don't buy that. Not one bit.
I'm not either, but I am curious if anybody's still going to plan on making that maneuver. Chime in. Let me know. I won't call out your name on air, but I am curious if there's a consensus of people that still have those strong emotions. And I do get it. Being 25 myself, and it's crazy to go all the way back. Like when I was a young kid, I was like, Bo Pelini's the guy. I mean, this is a big deal, guys. This is outrageous. We're getting rid of him. And the amount of heat I took, as a young man, for thinking that was a horrible move. You sit here today and you kind of hear some of Bo Pelini's quotes and you're like, well, it's hard to combat it. This place has an aura around it and I'll say it again, it's got to be one of the hardest places to lose that. Because the fan engagement does not go down. Sometimes it goes up because people want to know what the hell is happening. Where there used to be an era where you would just expect to win. If Nebraska didn't win, you would almost cry about it because it was so expected. Today, we might shed tears just to go bowling. So it's one of those things where I think the pressure here at Nebraska has consumed coaches. I mean, they age worse than some of the presidents we've had here at Nebraska. It's insane what kind of pressure we have here because of that fan engagement. But when you're winning, I mean, everything's awesome. And that's the stories I hear, at least, because the most I've gotten is seeing Lincoln traveling down here during those 9-win seasons. But this place is just in a tough spot. And having an old side consultant and Dana Holgerson come in this late, at some point in the morning, does that not fall on Matt Rule? The frustration that you have to get outside help and bring on an offensive consultant when they're getting paid all this money. And it's shouldn't that be your job to look at the offense that you hired and break it down and figure it out? Is there any blame that should be had there?
Partially, on some things and whatnot, but Rule is going to defend his guys. He's not going to throw anybody under the bus. I think he does that very well of taking up for, his people and everything like that. And you can be mad kind of at him, but I'm pretty sure, he's saying things or he's going back and looking and acting, or, he's not just standing by and letting the situation happen. I can guarantee that. And he's actively, improve things, whether that was bringing in, Maher on kicks, Now you're bringing in the offensive guy to help the offense and everything like that. So it's not like he's not just letting things happen and everything like that. But you also gotta, let that guy. You brought in a guy here to do a job. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a flip of a coin type of situation. He gets, some of the angry and some of it, but I don't think this is your fault of this and everything like that, because everybody has a plan, but the plan is not the plan until, everything goes out the window. So they didn't plan on being it that way or whatnot. It just kind of turned on what it is, but he is actively, progressively, making changes or trying to move things in a better way. So you can't be mad at that.
Yeah, that's the way I see it. Like, he definitely deserves some blame, but he's actively trying to make it better and still try to fix it. It'd be like, to make an analogy, if I hired someone to go build a deck in my backyard, but some of the wood they used was green wood and it started to warp, but they're still going to come back and they're going to fix it the right way. They're going to redo the mistakes they made, get the correct material, and then they'll have a good finished product, and we'll both be happy that the job's done. Took a little longer than I wanted, but hey, it looks nice. Now, if he puts in some more green wood again and it warps, then you got a problem. And this is where, if you bring in Dan Holgerson and nothing gets better and we have this bad offense, and now we're bringing in more people to pay because he's getting paid. I don't know what the number is, but it is more money to this football program on top of everything else. And if it gets worse, like that's when people start to get pissed. And you can't necessarily blame too many fans at this point, but I'm still in the mindset that we'll be able to squeak out one of these last 3 games, especially the Iowa game. You just never know based on that rivalry. Wisconsin's been very much Nebraska this year. Sometimes they look great. Sometimes they look horrible. And then USC, same story. They've been in a lot of games. They can't finish. That's going to be a location where their fan base is going to be expecting USC to probably lose. But if they know enough about Nebraska's record, they might say, hey, we might have a chance in this one. Nebraska might find a way to hand it to us, as we've done so many times in the past year. But I'm still holding out hope that we're able to get one. I'll ask you this before we go to break, and we'll wrap up on Husker football here. What's the odds for you, if you had to put a percentage chance, that Nebraska just gets at least one game to go bowling?
I think that's a 65 to 85%. Like I really feel confident in it because we've seen them get up, for certain teams and everything. We've seen them be energetic. So it's there. It just has to be the excitement. When SC come into town, Wisconsin is always, a good battle between us. I think the energy will be there. And then you got Iowa. The energy will always be brought for that. So I think it's a very good chance, we can get 2 out of the last 3, honestly.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? This team has shown flashes where when things are clicking, they look really good. And I know it's a long ways back, and it might be unfair to reach that far back on the shelf, but that Colorado game is always the best example. It looks like one of our best wins. It looked like one of our best performances, too. It did not look like we saw a Colorado team who didn't know how to play football. It looked like we saw a football team from Nebraska that was highly competitive, that wanted it more, and that was ready to go as soon as the clock started. And we just haven't seen that since, so I think that's there. It's untapped. I'd give it a 70% chance, too. That's kind of where I'm sitting. However, I will say, I've lost on 70-30 splits before. So let's hope I don't land on the 30 and I'm wrong. But I'm not going to give up on this Nebraska team. I think it's very realistic. They can at least squeak out 1, possibly even 2. 3-0 is getting a little crazy, but I'm willing to listen to the argument for it. Don't go anywhere. We'll throw it to break. Don't Punt Hour with the host, the Morning Pierson-El, on the Allo VIP line.
Hello, this is Mary Pat Waite. I've had the privilege of working with Lincoln families as their realtor for more than 31 years, and I'm so proud to be associated with MP Dodge Real Estate. For me, your transaction is unique in its own way. My experience allows me to bring you trusted care and a really great outcome. My NP Dodge family shares the same client focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222. The Link Grill, Draft, and Crafts is your spot in Southeast Lincoln for great food and drink. They're serving new menu items and a killer craft cocktail menu with your favorite draft beers. You'll love their pizza and new entree options. It's a great place to watch any live events, and they have music bingo every month. They have an aggressive loyalty program that rewards fans with 7% back on all purchases. Home of the Nebraska Power Hour every night from 8 to 9 p.m. Order online at thelnkgrill.com or stop in at 84th and Highway 2 today.
General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
It happens. All of a sudden, you need a plumber. Just call Bryant, 467-1111. Problem solved with Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Patriot Plumbing at 402-464-7411 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-464-7411.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right, most recommended Eustace Body Shop.
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see a chance of showers throughout the day with patchy fog possible. Otherwise, partly sunny and a high around 54. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a low around 36. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly cloudy skies and white winds with the high around 55. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fleck from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's the greatest time of the year again. Kickoff is here and football is officially back. Over 1 million fans across 33 states got in the game last year by making picks on Underdog, and this year you can too. Making picks on Underdog is straightforward and signing up is even easier. Just head over to Underdog's simple-to-use mobile app or UnderdogFantasy.com and sign up with promo code EARLY, and Underdog will give you a free pick to use on your first cash pick'em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code EARLY to claim your new customer special of a free pick and your deposit offer. Must be 19 plus in Nebraska and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back in. It's the Dump Punt Hour. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. You guys are always welcome to join in and use the Starter Heyman text line. Use the streams, Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo, channel 961. Let's bring it back in. DeMornay Pierson-El, the host of always. Talked a lot of Husker football. Dived into more about what it means that Dana Holgorsen has been added to the staff as an offensive consultant. We won't really know how good that looks until a couple weekends where we play USC on Saturday. I'll be honest, that's kind of where I'm at on that one. I can see it just putting the team in a further tilt, or maybe, that's the right ingredient. He catches something where there's just a different voice in the room. Maybe it's confidence. Like I said, we're really not going to know until that Saturday versus USC comes. But we do know a little bit about Nebraska basketball. They beat Texas Rio Grande Valley UTRGV 87-67. Pretty convincing win by the end of it. But it was a little close heading into half. DeMornay Pierson-El in that game, the real storylines were Bryce Williams looks like, to your point before the season started, that he's probably going to be that consistent leader for this team in terms of points. And outside of that, you saw Juwan Gary play in a very similar fashion. Burke was interesting to watch. The transfer all the way out from Turkey, he was 3 for 4. Didn't take any 3-point shots at all throughout the game, which I think he does have that within his arsenal. I'll be curious to see what that looks like as it goes forward. But like I said, Bryce Williams, real leader, 27 points. And then Raleigh Wooster with 18. He came in there, played a really good game as well. 6 for 7, 1 for 1 from the 3-point land. 3-point shooting wasn't great. It was pretty average, 6 for 19. But other than that, the field goal numbers total weren't too bad in themselves. They shot about 50% from the floor, 31% from 3. Thoughts on the first game? Nebraska basketball gets a win. DeMornay Pierson-El.
It's still, again, you got a lot of dudes, getting that transferred in. You got dudes, stepping up and whatnot. I mean, for the first game and everything like that, it looked about what I thought. They played well. They hustled. They took care of business. You said stuff that, it was close at half. But I mean, they closed the game out and looked how they were supposed to look. So hopefully, we can build off of that and, and get a good run going. But first showing and everything like that, they checked a lot of boxes. They did what they were supposed to. They look really nice. I won't say really good. They look really, really nice.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting, right? Like this team, for me, it's just got to continue to put the missing piece that was Rink Mass together. He was a great playmaker for this team last year. And Bryce Williams, you saw that. When he's got the hot hand, it's awesome. But there's times, again, this is just the first game. We're a little bit of a cold streak. It'd be nice to have someone kind of pick up or just set him up on an easy pass. Because when you have guys like Juwan Gary and Bryce Williams, even Raleigh Wooster, the transfer, and Burke, we got a bunch of tall guards and wings that can cut outside of a couple of centers that should be decent enough at playmaking and just sealing guys off, recognizing what the other players want to do. I have a hard time trying to figure out what's a fair evaluation for where this team should finish. The first game, they won it the way they were supposed to. You could argue maybe it was even a little too close. But we see this in basketball all the time now, especially when you only got to get 5 good guys on the court. In the era of NIL, you're going to find teams with a couple of guys that can turn any ball game into a close one. Whether they're playing Duke or Nebraska basketball, that's just kind of the talent that's everywhere with 3-point shooting. But what's the real goal for this team? Like, where should they be expected to finish in terms of the Big Ten? And at this point, is just getting to the tournament enough, or are we still on the ground? Like, the real goal is to not just get there again, but to win a game. And very much like Husker football, get that monkey off the back of this basketball program.
You know, they've done, that coach has done a good job of each year, you know, moving the needle. So I think definitely finishing, you know, in the top 5 in the Big Ten is definitely obtainable. I don't think that's out of reach. For his style, he brings in typically, you know, guys that fit his system well. He coaches, you know, well enough what he does have. But I think the goal this year not only should just not be just get back to the tournament, but you know, get past actually win, you know, again, get past the first round. I think that's definitely obtainable.
Yeah, and I like the size that this team has this year. Concerned about the rebounding at all after that first game. It was a game where, despite Nebraska's size, a lot of this 5-out style that we run, like, it to me at times it can be a little bit of a challenge, especially when we get to Big Ten play. Playing 5-out really hurts the chances for offensive rebounds, obviously, when you got 5-man out style. But then at the same time, on defense, despite the size, we still aren't really hitting the glass very much. Do you expect that to get better or more of the same from last year?
You know, I expect it to get better. I don't think it'll be necessarily a fall off. You're bringing in guys who know how to play at this level. I think the experience of things will do well for a lot. So I don't think it'll be a downgrade or anything like that.
No, I don't think, certainly not a downgrade. For me, it's, I'm tired of saying
for
this
a down
word.
year.
It's fixable. It's fixable for this team. I don't think it's going to be a down year. Because again, just going through it, like the center is the real thing that worries me is, do we have a dominant center? It's kind of a wait and see. The only real true center we have is Braxton. Otherwise, we got to bench really tall forwards like Burke sitting at 6'10", but naturally kind of plays that power 4 because of what he's able to do with shooting the ball. But again, you got a 6'10" forward. You got, you know, Connor Sejan, whatever you think, 6'4", and he's good at crashing the boards from Wisconsin. You're looking at Juwan Gary at 6'6". Gavin Griffiths, the transfer, he's 6'7". Sam Hoiberg, you know, at 6 foot, I'll tell you what, he doesn't hurt you on defense, what he's able to do. And then you look at the guards or the forwards I was talking about before. You got Bryce Williams at 6'7", Raleigh Wooster at 6'5", Aaron Ewell at 6'3". So we got some height on this team. It's just, is that effort going to be there to go ahead and rebound the ball and not let that be another deficit? The other thing is turnovers. Is that just a rust thing? Like, looking at last year, we talked about the point guard position not being super clear. Do we expect that number to go down? Because if I were to say the biggest problems for Nebraska basketball last year was rebounding and turnovers, because they're controllables and we just never really got a hold of them.
I think depending on what the style of play is. Last year we were a run and gun, live and die by the 3. So you had your times where things were off, or fortunate shots, or taking, you know, unnecessary shots and everything like that. That kind of contribute to stuff. With bigger guys, you know, getting in the paint and actually, you know, setting up and stuff and everything like that, and having an actual, not to say that Casey wasn't an actual guard, but to have a floor general, you know, out there to command things that kind of get the sets going and everything like that. You would hope it would be under, but it's still just early enough to we really don't know exactly what the identity or strength exactly is just off of, you know, one game. But you plugged in veteran pieces, you plugged in pieces that you quite necessarily didn't have last year with an expectation of it. I think it is a very good chance for that to be, you know, on the low tick versus the numbers last year.
Yeah, and for Bryce Williams, one thing, you know, just he's got to continue to work on being a better playmaker, because I think he's got it in his bag. He led the team in points, but 2 turnovers, 27 points, 0 assists. And, you know, he shot well enough. It's not like he was hitting every single shot out there, But when you got the pressure, I think he's good enough. Or if he has that to the bag where he doesn't even have to be elite, just a solid playmaker on top of what he's able to do when it comes to driving and shooting the ball. Like all of a sudden, he becomes a very dangerous player. And if he's got pro aspirations, I mean, that's a step for him. I think you get that playmaking down, all of a sudden, we're not so worried with that turnover issue. We have a guy that can not only draw up a bucket for himself, but can assist others in getting theirs just by the simple pressure he brings. That's something Rink Mass was good at. And that's what I'm talking about replacing. When Rink Mass was getting it going, he's really good at finding other guys on the court. Bryce Williams, I think that could be a different position, but more of the same for him, where if he gets that offense going, I think he can be one of the best playmakers on the team if he chooses to do so. We'll throw out the break, one more segment. We'll switch it over to the NBA. In particular, there's a rookie for the Grizzlies who's looking like one of the best rookies out there. Don't go anywhere. Don't Punt Hour with DeMornay Pierson-El.
General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see a chance of showers throughout the day with patchy fog possible. Otherwise, partly sunny and a high around 54. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a low around 36. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly cloudy skies and light winds with the high around 55. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Explain to me again why we're sleeping on the ground.
Because we're thramping. Thrift camping. It's saving us money and getting us closer to nature.
But we don't need to thramp. I just combined our home and auto insurance with our State Farm agent, so we have a rate that fits our budget.
All right. Do you think our agent can bring us an air mattress?
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Kreekak, at 402-474-1173.
Individual premiums and budgets will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel is the answer to all your lunch and dinner cravings. They have everything from smoked turkey sandwiches to brisket burritos to burnt-in sandwiches and pulled pork. Try a dinner plate option of barbecue nachos, a half-smoked chicken, a full slab of ribs, and so much more. Don't forget their great sides like mac and cheese, cheesy potatoes, barbecue beans, or red slaw. Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel, open Monday to Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
The Serve Nebraska Volunteer Service Commission was created to ensure that community service would always be a priority in our state. I'm Governor Jim Pillen, and this year, I'm inviting you to help celebrate Serve Nebraska's 30th year by becoming a volunteer. Our state's best resource is its people. You have the potential to make a significant impact. Thank you.
Sponsored by Serve Nebraska, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Brought to you by General Fire and Safety, Raisin Canes, Perch Merch, Sunbelt Rentals, Mullen Motors, Select Plumbing, and the Kindler Hotel. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Raising little ones is a big job, and you do your best to give them a good start every day. That means making sure they're well cared for while you're apart. You work hard, but it's not always easy to make ends meet. There may be help. Find out if you qualify for Nebraska's Child Care Tax Credit for working parents. You could be eligible for a credit of up to $2,000 per child on your next tax return. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Before you start blowing and raking leaves this season, make sure you know where they go. Yard waste is not garbage, especially in Lincoln, where it's converted into earth fuel compost. All grass clippings and leaves must be separated from household trash from April 1st until November 30th each year. It's the law. Yard waste belongs in a paper lawn bag, or you may request a bin from your trash hauler who will pick it up for a small fee. Remember, no trash or branches are allowed in yard waste. Get the details at lincoln.ne.gov/recycle.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith. Innovation has a name. Call Patriot Plumbing at 402-464-7411 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-464-7411.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back in. Final segment, Don't Punt Hour. Shout out to Teammates Mentoring. You guys can sign up at Teammates Mentoring Lincoln. It's a great thing to do. Helps out the community, helps out the youth, and doesn't ask for a whole lot of time. You don't got to teach them math. Just got to be there, be able to hear them out, and talk to them. Very simple. Again, shout out Teammates Mentoring for sponsoring a lot of our content here. All right, switching up. Last thing, NBA. First thing I want to talk about, Zach Edey. I was high on him on the draft, and I feel good about it now. This year with the Memphis Grizzlies, he was just about 20 minutes, averaging over 11.1 points, shooting 50% from three. He did cash in 1-3, very small sample size. But the big thing, he's getting about 7 rebounds as well. It's not incredible stats, but this is what I was talking about with Zach Edey. It's going to be very hard for me to believe that he can't just plug and play in the NBA already. And there's no better spot than him to be on the high-flying team that is the Memphis Grizzlies. You've probably, if you're watching NBA highlights, seen quite a few just insane lobs from John Morant to Zach Edey. Your thoughts on Zach Edey and the Memphis Grizzlies? Good morning, Pierson-El.
I mean, I think this takes a lot of pressure off of John Morant. I mean, you got somebody like that to where Ja is a slasher. He's going to get to the bucket. He's a high flyer. He's going to create things. If things, if he misses something, you got a cleanup man. You got pick and roll situations. We'll pick your poison or whatnot. But you also got a big guy that can score from beyond the range. So it makes them dangerous. I think this is a team that people kind of forget about just because of OKC took off, Minnesota took off, and the shiny new toys was there. But Ja was hurt last year. He's going to be healthy this year and have some added weapons. They're going to be a difficult team to handle and deal with. So I mean, I think it's going to be exciting. The West is just absolutely loaded from top to bottom.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
There needs to be some conference realignment in the NBA because, oh my lord, the West is
Who do
not
you
even
move
close.
over there though? Like who do you move?
The Hornets. The West deserves teams like the Hornets, the Bulls. Like, give them some teams that have just historically been bad to even things out. Because even this year, and this is the other time I want to talk about, the Milwaukee Bucks are 1-6. The Chicago Bulls had a 20-point comeback, able to beat them like the Bucks. And it's surprised they're off to a 1-6 start. Not at all what they've been expecting. I was mad when they fired Budenholzer, their head coach, just to bring in a guy like Doc Rivers. And now they're sitting here 1-6 to start the year. Thoughts on the Bucks?
He hot seat.
Yeah, he's always a permanent hot seat for Doc Rivers. I don't know why they keep hiring him.
I don't. It just don't look good. Like it's the same thing of last year, and it could be so simple. And I think Giannis is just trying to dominate and do a lot, and Dame's not trying to step on toes, and you just kind of mixing oil and water. It's not good.
It blows my mind that they brought in Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers, I think he's been a great coach at times. He's also had some of the best rosters to where those records really should be the bare minimum. You look at his winning percentage, and then you look at the rosters he's been a part of, and it's like, damn, I hope you won that much, because with that team, you should have. I mean, from the Clippers to his run with Philadelphia, I mean, this guy, you brought in Budenholzer, you got rid of him because he struggled in the playoffs. So you go ahead and get a guy who is notorious for losing in the playoffs. It never made sense to me. Giannis doesn't look happy to be there. I'll ask you this as we wrap things up, though. The Bulls, 3-4, it hasn't been overly impressive. Do they sneak in there for the Giannis Antetokounmpo run? Because Giannis has hinted multiple times that he might want out. And then if you're looking at this Bucks team, they're sitting there 1-6. They might cash out if knowing that Giannis might not re-sign.
That would be a nice mix. I think that would make things interesting. I can get along with that. I can see that Giannis will be plug and play early on there, or better yet, just trade him and get something from it instead of just letting it go.
Yep, and that's the position they're in. I think it's full on panic in Milwaukee, and this 1-6 start is, oh boy, like Giannis is really going to want out of here if we don't fix this early in the season. And I know everyone's like, the NBA doesn't really matter, blah blah blah, up until this point. It certainly matters in the trade world. It's early enough to where teams are going to have to decide: do we want to really spend a bunch of money and run for a title here, or is this ship sinking and we need to take whatever harvest we got left? Do you want to continue with the analogy and get it off board before the ship entirely sinks? And the Bucks being 1-6 is music to my ears, because I do think the Chicago Bulls have a good chance in the sweepstakes just based on cap space, and they're not have a ton of value in players to offer, but they got a bunch of role players and some picks they can give away. I like it for the Chicago, but again, this is going to be a Giannis sweepstakes if he really does want to get out of there. So it'll be the Bulls and everybody else who's probably got cap space, because Giannis is one of those players who you can only do so much scouting against him. He's the Greek freak for a reason. Like, there's just things athletically he does that you're not going to be able to compete with at times. That's going to wrap it up for us. Good morning, Pierson-El. Appreciate the time as always. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night, but don't go anywhere. We're going to keep things rolling. Up next, Uncut with Kyle Perry.